Hello. I wanted to take some time to talk about the fact that I am getting ready to celebrate my 11th month of no contact from an abusive and toxic relationship with someone who is, at the very least, an avoidant attachment style. I may not have a degree to say that about people, but I'm going to go ahead and do it because I think we all have intuition. And I think I've spent countless hours, and I mean countless, going through so many videos. That was my healing. That was my counseling. 2022, especially for months there, but then especially over this last year. Well, actually, really, 2022, I was doing the videos even more so. I had come to a really good place even before I'd broken it off. But it has still been a journey for me, and I wanted to offer encouragement for anyone out there. If you're going through this, you can do it. It's hard. They have played a mental warfare game, whether they knew it or not, a chemical warfare game with your head. So if you think you're going crazy and you're like, why do I want the very thing that brings me pain? It's because if you're out of the relationship and you're going through a detox, it is a withdrawal process. And it's not because they're like anything so special. It's because you done got your mind warped. It's a total mind screw. And but I started thinking about like how, I wanted to say to God, like, why do you keep putting me through this? Because he wasn't my first. He was just the first of that kind that I feel like, which is more of a covert, sneaky kind if it was that. I'm pretty sure it did have some of that underlying, going on in there. The reasons why it was done, I don't know. And, we may never know. And that's one of my big things. I ask why. And I think that's one of the things that like I wanted to share with everybody is that once you let go of the why and just accept it for what it is, and the ruminating to try to figure out, to try to replay those episodes in your mind, it's not doing anything beneficial. I've been doing a lot of studying on the brain, and doing that kind of stuff can actually shrink what is called your amygdala and your hippocampus, and you can look it up. Your hippocampus is actually like, I think it's so cool. The amygdala is shaped like two almonds, and the campi, I think is how they pronounce both of them, but both of the hippocampus together, I'll just say it that way, they look like seahorses, and I think that's so cool. And I'm coming up with some training techniques for your brain and stuff, has to do with music and dance, and things with your thumbs. Believe it or not, you can actually do these like opposing thumb things with your fingers, because a lot of people have been being diagnosed with Alzheimer's and dementia that it didn't even run in their family. And we know from science now that we're not at the whim of our genes or anything like that. There are so many possibilities available, and it's only by our choices. Our choices are what will activate or deactivate things inside of us. So I wanted to offer that just some comfort. First of all, I'm so sorry for what you've gone through. You didn't deserve it. We're not angels. We had our share in it. And I had to like really think about this lately. It's like, what do I feel like was my main share? I mean, besides the things I did out of my own insecurities and things like that, what is like a big role that I played that even got me to this? What got me here? How did I end up with someone that could treat me so bad, and I would keep trying to come towards them? And it really is because of it's the hit of dopamine, and then the cortisol, and it's the up and the down and the push and the pull, and it's a chemical addiction that you get addicted to this. But in the very first place, why did I even allow it? Because if we're really honest with ourselves, we definitely saw some red flags, but we were so busy in the love bomb stage, probably, or whatever it was, and we loved it so much that we threw everything willy-nilly at that point and just went for it because we had so much faith and trust in them, instead of, in fact, our creator, who's standing there reaching out and saying, come to me. I won't do that stuff to you. I love you with a true, pure love. And do I think it's 100% their fault? No, because first and foremost, we're never going to come from a place of strength until we stop being the victim and become the victor, become a person that owns our stuff and says, I didn't have strong boundaries. Maybe I didn't know who I was. Main thing I'm thinking that I'm learning here from everyone else's story and from the story that I'm literally going through now is identity crisis, identity theft because of the identity crisis, where someone can actually, a lot of people say this, and I said it like when I first left, I don't even know who I am anymore, and that's what it does to you. That's what we have allowed it do. And the good news is we can take our control back and we can say, hey, we're not going to be a part of this anymore. And I'm telling you, the initial thought of that could actually put you in a fetal position and make you suck your thumb and just want to like not do anything. But here's some hope. It's going to hurt. There's no lie about that. It's going to hurt. There are going to be days where you just want to just break down and call them. There's going to be days when you do want to go into a fetal position and suck your thumb. It's okay. Let the thoughts go through your mind, but then keep weeding them out and replacing them with God's truth. And God's truth is, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper us and not harm us, and different things from God's truth. And even if you feel like you don't have time to read the Bible, even if you don't, you can at least get a hold of some of his words and meditate on it. And hopefully I'll bring more videos where I'm going to be doing that. But I just felt it in my spirit tonight. Someone may need to hear this message. And it's just that you can do it. You were made to do it. We were made. I feel like we were supposed to encounter them, because every single moment of adversity, rough times, hard times, that darkness, we need it. We need it so that we can see the light. It's the contrast that we need. And we can be happy. We can be happy that we're not stuck. Okay, if you're married, you're still not stuck there. And I know if you're living with them and you have no place to go, I still have my place. I kept my place. So I had a place to go when I moved out. But it doesn't matter. God will provide. If you really want to, as far as marriage is concerned, I know that his blessing's on marriage, but his blessing is not on anyone being abused. Definitely not. So if that's the only reason that you're staying, I would say, treat others as you had done to you. I'm sure you're treating them excellently, and they're treating you bad. And you warned them. They know about it. You know what? Cut your losses is what I say. I feel like God would say the same thing. He doesn't want any of his children being harmed or abused. So if you're staying for that reason, please leave. Find a way to leave. Just get out of there and leave. And so I just kind of wanted to give you some encouragement tonight, and to if you're at the stage where I am, where at least you've moved out of the situation, keep your head in God's word, keep the positivity flowing, because we can actually, our brains have probably in some instances been damaged, and probably in all of these instances where we have allowed someone to mess with our heads like that. The gaslighting, the cognitive dissonance, all of that stuff. It actually, our brains have this thing called neuroplasticity, and it physically changes our brains. But the good news is, every morning we get brand new neurons. It's called neurogenesis, and we are restored. We can program those new baby nerve cells however we want, but plus also, we can still continue to weed out things that do not serve us. Just draw it from our subconscious into our conscious mind, as painful as it may be. If you can get it there, it's pliable, it's malleable. You can move it around. You can change our brains, the actual structure, and you can get rid of the fog in your head. We can get there. We can. I was walking around in a daze at first, not really knowing who am I, what am I going to do now? Because you've lived your life like trying to make them happy almost. At least it was for me, at least towards the end. Jeez, oh Pete, it's like man can never be made happy. Anything that I did that used to be cute is now like sudden death, if you even dare have any of your quirks come out, or the things that actually make you pretty daggone awesome, is what I'm going to say, because that's true. Be yourself. And if you can't be yourself with who you're with, next. Have a good night.